Hi, it's Anne at Martin House Flowers. Hope you're all doing well. So in this video, I thought I would take you through our journey of building our Cape Cod Greenhouse. It is a BC greenhouse, and it came from Surrey, BC, Canada. And it started, the journey started back in December of 2023 when we mentioned that we were interested in doing a greenhouse at our annual HOA meeting, Homeowners Association meeting. And it took us presenting to our HOA board in early February, and after we got approval, which took us, a little bit of back and forth, and presenting some nice images and complying with our HOA in terms of it resembling our home, we finally got approval, and basically when we got the written approval, we broke ground the next day. And so that took some time, obviously ahead of even getting approvals, to start sourcing a foundation company, and also sourcing the stone that you see that is so beautiful. I had to search while I was out of town, actually in Utah, accompanying my husband on a business trip. I found our stone that was the same as the front of our home, because that was a part of our criteria in getting approval, was that it resembled the exterior of our home as much as possible. So here we have the delivery. It was very exciting when it was delivered from BC. It probably took about 5 to 10 days from the time that we received tracking. So BC Greenhouse was a very amazing company to deal with. And our rep there, Derek, I have to say the communication was awesome, as well as his team in expediting everything. So here's the first crate that held all the aluminum, including my favorite part, which is the decorative ridge cresting and the finials. And this crate weighed just under 500 pounds. I think it was 466 pounds. The third crate was, obviously we could handle just the two people, and that was the door. The infamous door that was the last thing to fit literally into the greenhouse. If you've seen my other videos, my husband ran into a bit of a hiccup on that one. So within the first weekend that we had free, my husband, Greg, started putting up the frame of the greenhouse. And within that first weekend, he had the ridge line, the roof line assembled, and that was probably the scariest part. Or the style of this greenhouse is called the Cape Cod style. And if you go to BC Greenhouse's website, you'll see there are a number of different styles options available. We went for the Cape Cod because it has a higher pitch on it and allows for snow loads that, where the snow would just slide right off. So here's my husband, probably day 2 or 3 of putting the frame together. He decided to do this on his own, and this was probably the scariest part. Every time he was up on a ladder, he did ask me to be outside in case there was an accident. But he managed to prop the roof line on one ladder on the front gable, and as he applied the other side on the back end there, and that was a little bit scary to me, quite honestly. And you could see the clouds coming in too, and but he had the option to ask some friends to help, but he thought he wanted to take his time in doing this. And so, we did take, pardon me, a little bit longer than maybe some people would have taken had they, hired a couple guys. But my husband said that, he just wanted to do it at his pace. He's an engineer, and I think he felt he would frustrate other people, trying to work with him in doing this. Because he wanted to understand the instructions to his level. And so in terms of the step-by-step instructions, the BC Greenhouse does come with a very comprehensive instruction manual. It's probably a ½ to an inch thick with big drawings, but it is a little bit more general. It's our greenhouse was a custom size, being that it was a 10 by 12, and they customize everything to your dimensions of choice. And there are also YouTube videos for every single step of the way. So as I mentioned in my previous videos, we had thought that it was going to be completed about a week ago. And unfortunately, when Greg went to install the door, he found that there was a discrepancy of a ½ inch. And here you'll see where he measured the door and the opening at the top, in the middle, and the base. And unfortunately, there was a ½ inch discrepancy. And he had to basically over the next weekend move over the front gable frame on the side by the doorway. He had to move it over by about ½ inch, by ½ inch, to allow for the discrepancy. And so you'll see him here loosening all of the joints, having to remove all of the glass, which was quite frustrating, I can imagine. But my husband has a ton of patience, and over a couple of maybe sleepless nights, he figured out in his head what he needed to do. And that took him another weekend, unfortunately. So, but you'll see here that the door did finally fit, and with just another delay, like with all projects, there's always unexpected issues that come about. We have a completed greenhouse. And, there's still a few things to finish, but like we need to get electrical installed. He's debating on doing it himself because getting an electrician to come in is an extra cost, and it's pretty significant. So, but yeah, we wanted to share with you where we're at, how I've furnished everything, and how the door finally got installed, and we're really happy with it. So I would say from start to finish, it was delivered in early May, and here we are, June, July, August, roughly 2.5 months it was completed. But I need to qualify that by saying that my husband does have a full-time job, and we have kids and with demanding schedules, and he really only had probably I would say 2 weekends. That would be 2 weekends a month, maybe 3 weekends a month that he had to work on the greenhouse. So you know, Martin style, he always likes to say, we need a lot of patience, and you know, finally it was completed, and I am so thrilled and so grateful to have this greenhouse that I will be using uh, definitely starting this fall, as I try to overwinter some of my annuals and maybe start growing some seeds, some herbs indoors. And yeah, so future videos, I will keep you posted as to how I'm utilizing the greenhouse and how everything is coming along. So just to take you on a quick tour through the greenhouse, this is my work area where I plan to do my potting and plant up my seed trays. And I have a console table here that I picked up from Home Goods, some pots that I've been collecting that I'll be filling over the next few months. My cloches over there, my green table, console table they decided to keep green. And that shelf unit that I have my clay pots in, I actually picked that up at a vintage store months before I even had the greenhouse in mind or approved. So that corner there, I plan to put my grow lights that are currently in the guest room. But I'm really happy with how everything is fitting. I will be putting in my lemon Meyer tree in the corner come fall. My two standard topiaries that are in the work area will also probably have to go in. Whatever else I can squeeze in there. Hopefully I don't have too much furniture. The shelving isn't in yet because we're waiting for the bolts that are coming from BC, so that'll be next week. So I'm so thrilled. I appreciate you coming along on this journey, and thank you for watching, and I hope you will subscribe.